The Serpent Society. I have some spicy tech for the Serpent Society. I want to make people suffer by making them sack shit with the commander. No restriction, other than I want to see Erebos Great Pack stay in the deck. Even though I have creatures, I feel my board grows too slow and doesn't have much of a presence. Notice that you've spelled presence wrong with double S's, which is actually thematic. Because we're the Serpent Society. We live in a society. That's a really good deck name for this. You might want to steal that, Rakuda. Whenever another creature controlled with Death Touch dies, each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature of their choice. Okay, we have Ankle Biter, Fangin Shigeki, Moss Viper. Okay. Hear me out! Hear me out. You run these big-ass sorceries that control someone's turn. And when you control them during their turn, you make them target the Serpent Society twice. To kill them. Maybe you don't run both. Maybe you just run War Spheres. But... you can kill a player with the ward ability if you know they have a lot of removal in their hand. Word of Command. Word of Command is like kind of ass, isn't it? You can only do it with one spell too. Look at target opponent's hands and choose a card from it. You control that player. That player plays that card if able. While doing so, they can activate abilities. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, this is too annoying to explain. It also only works for one spell, which works if someone has already blown up your commander. They can decline ward, aha, but they can't decline ward if you're controlling them. So that's why War Spheres works. My favorite thing about the Serpent Society is they're literally exactly positioned like the soy pointing meme. They're positioned exactly like the soy pointing meme. With the lady on the right and the guy up front. This shit fucks me up. The Serpent Society. Have you seen the goth soy pointing one? That one's funny. No, I can't find it. Yeah, here it is. I found it. This one's my favorite. I love this one so much. You have it as a Discord sticker in your server? Yeah, I like it that much. The new Jace Planeswalker looks like he's shooting soy jacks at you. There's no way. It's Reality Architect, right? What is his name? Jace the Idiot. Sort date. Soy Jack Jace! Wait, this is sick! Why is he seething so hard, man? Anyway, I'm sorry, we have a duck to upgrade. The pornographic page. So typically whenever I see this many Death Touchers, I'm always kind of down to get a little dirty with some Cryptolith Rite effects. I think 3 mana is a little too much mana for that effect. I don't like Merciless Executioner either. Plague Crafter. Oh, Feomancer. So, when you read a card, and it says, if you control no snakes, and your deck's full of snakes, why do you put it in your deck? just asking. I'm just curious. Please enlighten me. If you have a commander who's a snake, and you have how many snakes in the deck? Drumroll, please. 8 snakes in the deck. We're running Ophiomancer. That's awesome. Don't do that. I'm gonna call that a non-bow. 8 snakes is not that many, boss man. There's one in the command zone! It said snake, so I put it. Oh my god. It's beautiful. Okay, enough yelling. We're fine now. Everything's okay. It's a game. I like a Curse of Marauder, so that's gonna let you keep. Never be found. I love this song. Try to resist, can't get enough of the sound. The way you fight to exist, can't get it out of my head. Thoughts on Putrefax? Let's read this. If it was up to me, this would be the only music we listen to on stream. The reason why it isn't up to me is I think at least 30 people would leave if I listened to nothing but, like, noise rock. You're allowed to have one. Trample Haste, in fact, beginning of sub-sacrifices. This is so mid. 5 mana, ugh. I just love getting him see his deck building. Fair. Okay. Listen, I am nothing but a clown. This isn't a real card. I don't know what that is. OG deck has Ophiomancer, but no Enduring Tenacity. Lol. Enduring Tenacity isn't that good because we're not getting life, right? If anything, I'd rather have Enduring Courage just because, like, we kind of go wide. We have a lot of cheap creatures. Like, for me, it's like Beast Whisperer. You do Beast Whisperer. It's boring, but it's good. You do Eladamri Corvectol, which is a fucking war criminal card. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast creature spells off the top of your library. Green tap 2 untapped creatures you control, which you'll have because you have a bunch of cheap creatures. Reveal the top card, or reveal a card from your hand or the top card of your library. If you put a creature card, or if you reveal a creature card this way, you cheat it into play. Reggae, the music, not the card. I don't listen to reggae personally. There's a lot of good reggae songs out there, believe it or not. So, that's my. I don't have an opinion. Gift of the Viper. Thoughts as Midwest emo is a genre. I love it. Love it. Can't get enough. So I'm trying to remember what I normally like in these sack decks, because there is a lot of technology that I really enjoy. I think one of those is going to be Gisa. Glorious Resurrector. Because I don't believe we run many things in this deck that say, like, whenever your creature an opponent controls dies. I don't think that happens that frequently here. Which is good, because Gisa can steal their creatures. Hyperpop, love Hyperpop. Glaive, unfamiliar. Jane Remover, not a big fan. Out of all the transgender noise pop artists, Jane Remover is probably on the lower end for me. Do you know the band Microwave? No. I'm kind of confused what we're doing with Arcane and Golgari Signet. I mean, it's good to go Soul Ring into Arcane Signet, always, always. But I would always rather curve on 1 because our commander is just 3 mana. We have Eladamri in the deck now. So going things like Oh Mana Dork, Oh Death Touch. I'm sure you already run all these, but When is July music stream? Honestly, maybe not in July, because I still need to squeeze in the free deck review stream. But I do plan on doing more music streams. We'll typically get like 50 people, despite it being midnight, in those streams, which is rather nice. So Otag Manadork, my fault. TBH, the only Jane Remover songs I like is the Frailty album. I don't typically like Jane Remover, but there was a song where she had a feature on that I fucking loved. It was an Underscore song. I can't remember where it was. Because I don't think it was you. Underscore is Jane Remover. Uncanny Long Arms. It was Wall Socket. The end of Uncanny Long Arms has a feature from Jane Remover that I love. It's right here. It's really good. Delirium. Maybe. Frog Butler. Are we opposed to UB? What is this? Of course we're not. So Serpent Society's in our command zone. Frog Butler is pretty good. Reach gains Death Touch. That's probably not good enough, sadly. And then that one's too narrow. Yeah, so the feature from Jane Remover is right here. It's going to come in like 5 seconds. Frog Butler does have tough art. Out of all the TMNT cards, this one's probably my favorite. Yeah, here we go. Jane Remover now. Boop. I think I'm gonna get a Noxious Newt. Noxious Newt's already in. Noxious Newt was in day 1. Hapatra? Yeah. 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 I mean, maybe you just run Yawgmoth for that reason. Thran Physician. It fits with the sort of theme of going wide here, the sacrificing theme, and then it also wombos with Hapatra, right? You put a -1/-1 counter. You sack a snake. You put a -1/-1 counter on their creature. You make a new snake. So long as we're not adding like a drain effect to the equation, we're not going infinite. Your opponents don't have infinite creatures to put things on. Okay, actually, we do have Hooded Blightfang. So it's a little dangerous now because we're paying a life, sacking a snake, putting a -1/-1 counter on your creature, getting a new snake. We're still bounded by the toughness of our opponent's creatures. But yeah. If you Imps Mischief to the commander, do they still have to pay the ward cost? No, because I think ward triggers when you target it and not when it... Does that count? I don't think so, right? I don't think so, right? Someone fact-checked Imps Mischief, please. But Hapatra doesn't do much if you don't put -1/-1 counters. Hapatra does it by herself. We live in the modern day. If you play this on turn 2, no one's blocking a 2/2. You start shrinking their creatures. Uh-oh. Ward is on the permanent. Okay, that's awesome, TCG Matt. That's not what we're asking. Yes, I know the permanent has ward. If we redirect an Imps Mischief, if we redirect your kill spell onto my commander, and you already have 5 poison counters, does the ward trigger? That's what we're asking. Or is this like an on-cast thing? Anyway, long story short, Hapatra's really good because it already puts the -1/-1 counters by herself on things. What's the latest and earliest a control deck bracket 3 should be able to finish the game? I would say turn 12 latest, turn 7 earliest. Like the earliest is always going to be turn 7. The latest will always be like 12 to 15. Like if you're consistently closing on turn 12, that feels good to me because you don't want the game to go too long. That's just my opinion, by the way. Some people love really long games. Okay, anyway, in this kind of go wide deck that's loves sacrificing, you just have to run Chthonian Nightmare, especially with this low of a curve. right? Chthonian Nightmare. Enters, you get 3 energy. You can pay X energy, sacrifice a creature, return this to your hand, return a different creature to the battlefield. So this is 2 mana infinite sacrifices. If you have Fang of Shigeki and like another Death Toucher in play, you can just like rapid fire back and forth both out of your graveyard back into play for 2 mana each time, which is really good. And then also, of course, you can always just rebuy the commander if it ever gets blown up. You love Chthonian Nightmare? Obviously not enough to put in your deck, Raccoona. I have to remind you of your love for it. Lively Dirge. I like Lively Dirge in a Yawgmoth deck because Lively Dirge is color agnostic, so this is on par with Green Sun Zenith in terms of mana efficiency if you grab Yawgmoth, which you probably will. It grabs Yawgmoth, it grabs Gisa, it grabs Beast Whisperer. Those are 4 incredible hits for 5 mana. Like, I'm happy to pay 5 mana for any of those. But also, it can grab Hapatra if you already have Yawgmoth in play. And it can also just, you know, entomb something and then also resurrect the Serpent Society if it died already or whatever. There's a lot of modes this card has. It's very flexible, very good. Not that I just love bullshit cards so much more. I get you. Fair. You got me there. So, I still am thinking about Cryptolithrite. I don't know how to feel about it, guys. I don't know how to feel about Cryptolithrite. Because on one hand, it's really good. On the other hand, we're not necessarily like a tokens deck. We could just like jam a Sir Conrad, right? This is a deck where I think Sir Conrad could be pretty dope. Normally, I'm pretty off him because he's like 5 mana and huge, and that's pretty difficult. But I think we touch our graveyard enough. Elvish Chorus over Cryptolith. That, well, I wouldn't add Cryptolith proper. I would be adding Enduring Tenacity because you can get not Enduring Tenacity, sorry, Enduring Vitality because you can get the Vitality off the creature tutors, which are very nice. I might just reach for Growing Rights. It cantrips and then it turns very easily into Gaia's Cradle, which I think is just totally fine. And we have untappers for the Gaia's Cradle. Okay, this works out better because we have Sereth who untaps target creature or land. So, Gaia's Cradle is slightly better. And we are mostly green, so. Arlie Den, thank you for the tier 1. Welcome back. Drop. Command Tower. Venerator Reprise. Next turn. Land. Noxious Newt. Or we can Nature's Lore for a Forest. I think I'm going to Nature's Lore for a Forest. Underground Mortuary is not in your deck. So, guys, we really needed to, like, it's been, what, 2 years since MKM has come out? This is not a budget deck. We need to start respecting the Surveils a little bit. We really do. Because stapling Surveil 1 onto Nature's Lore is insane. Onto Farseek is insane. Why do we have Rampant Growth instead of 3 visits? Great question. We just really gotta understand that this should be in every deck with fetches and stuff. All my homies hate Serve. Why do you hate Surveil lands? What did they do to you? They're very cool. Can we make people block the DT creatures? Unless I have our Finn, they won't block them, and I need a way to sack them, no? Yeah, that's why we have sack outlets in the deck. That's why we put Yawgmoth in. Huh? We put sack outlets in the deck. There's sack outlets in the deck. It's Chthonian Nightmare, Yawgmoth, etc. They are not scrying. It's better to put cards in your graveyard 80% of the time than to scry. Am I nuts? Why do people hate milling? We're Golgari! I know, I'm just annoying you. Well, great news. I'm very easy to annoy, so I think that's half of the appeal of tuning into my streams. Beast Whisperer. Maga. Magbay is legitimately one of the best pop acts in recent history. Hello, Ella Domre. Okay, so we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. Ella Domre Korvek doll. Draw a card. 1, 2. Frog Butler. Draw a card. Attack you with Glissa. Draw a card. Bajuka Bog. Exile your graveyard. Look at the new top card of our library. Okay, next turn. Forest. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Growing Rights of Shitlamok. 1, 2, 3. Serpent Society. We'll draw a card off that. We'll look at the new top card of our library. Okay, nothing of note. So we're going to go green, tap, 1, 2. Put Abermon into play. Swing Glissa at you, draw a card. This will flip on end step to Gaia's Cradle. We can Snakeskin Veil something. Next turn. Agadeem's Awakening. Oop. Turn over. There we go. Okay, Sarah's on top of our library, so we'll just... This is one of the more expensive cards in our deck, so we'll just go and flop that into play. New top card of library, Titan's Grove. Remove all the surveil lands and put in fetch lands before submitting to Elk. Yeah, basically. I need to just start the deck reviews by going, is this a budget deck? No. Do we have the surveil lands? Like, there needs to be a flow chart I pull up for these streams. I'm going to make a flow chart for, like, how I review decks. Is this Death Touch Storm? Storms is not the correct word. Okay, I really like this song. It's really hard to hate Jezebel's music. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana from Gaia's Cradle. Black. Think War Spheres you. We have 1 floating green mana still. 2, 3. Opperman will sack Frog Butler. Each opponent will sacrifice a creature. 1, 2, 3. Sack this. Each opponent will sacrifice a creature. We'll draw another card. We'll go 1, 2. Noxus Newt. We'll draw a card. Next turn. There's Farrakha. Hi, Frika. One, 2, 3. Draw a card. Vraska will green 1, 2, 3. Vraska into play. Like, this is curving out fine and doing some cute stuff. Honestly, are we opposed to, like, an overrun kind of effect? Because Death Touch plus overruns are really funny. Have you considered replacing the surveillance with the Scry ones? We've done this too much this stream. The bit is no longer affecting me because now I know it's a gag. You're trying to get a rise out of me, and I refuse to let it happen now. Witherbloom Charm's just fine. I like the Gisa that we added. Hornet Queen. Oh, because they're a way to loop Mindslaver with this list. So when I think of looping Mindslaver, I think of Academy Ruins. The answer is yes. You would need Eternal Witness Saw in half, right? What is Overrun? So Overrun is a Magic the Gathering card that gives +3/+3 and trample until end of turn. You don't run actual Overrun in most decks just because it's been kind of outclassed by a lot of different options. But the joke is that Overrun is just shorthand for any spell that gives trample and pumps power. Anyway, trample, creatures, control. Hold on, does Skullwinder have Death Touch? Skullwinder does have Death Touch. Skullwinder's just also really dangerous. It's funny, for sure. It's definitely funny. I think it's dangerous, though. I don't know. I'm not a big fan, especially in like a more like brewy, middling Golgari deck like this. I don't want to get my opponent's cards. Really, I don't at all. So it is kind of sad that Craterhoof is like just the strongest thing, but Earthshaker Giant's a good facsimile. Especially since you can cheat it off the top with the Eladamri, which is rather nice. That's fair. I was thinking about the Mindslaver loop. I see. Okay. Gix's command out? It's just kind of expensive for what it does. It does blow up all your Death Touchers, which is kind of funny, but I don't think that's good, necessarily. Okay, this hand's insane. Okay, maybe insanely slow. Sorry, we should have played this, or tap land turn 1. Turn 2, Hapatra. Turn 3, swing with Hapatra. There'll probably be one player who's open, let's be real. Snake. Ooh, close. Think. 1, 2, 3. Eladamri. Next turn. Top card of our land, or library is a land. I think here let's just establish the Serpent Society. Then we draw that land. And then we go Fang of Shigeki, cast it off the top with Eladamri. Glissa, that will cheat with Eladamri. Dink, dink, dink. White Widow. Whenever a creature controls Death Touch deals damage to a player, put a counter on it. Swing with Serpent Society. They're probably not going to block. We'll put a counter on it. Like, look at this. Mana and card advantage Eladamri just gave us. Like, ridiculously powerful. Green, black. We'll Witherbloom Charm. Sack the Hapatra token. Each opponent will sacrifice a creature. We'll now draw 2 cards. We will now go green, tap, tap, tap. Beast Whisper off the top of the library. We'll then go green, green. We know that this is not a land. So what we can do now is 3 visits for a Surveil. Surveil. So we know we hit our land drop next turn. Golgari Charm to graveyard. So, and then you combat swing with objects. Next turn. So 1, 2, Tower Winder off the top. Draw a card because we cast a creature spell. Enters, get command tower. Like at this point, like if we get farewelled, I'm like, dope. I have a whole grip of hands. Or a whole grip of hands. A whole hand of cards. 1, 2. Like imagine we find like Earthshaker Giant here. It'd feel pretty great, right? If only we had a way to tutor it to the top or something. We don't have our Sylvan Scrying. So I guess we just cast objects until we clear the top enough to something we like. Oh, we don't have a mana dork in play. So we can go green, tap, 1, 2. Put Unstoppable Slasher into play from hand. Next turn. Land. Ooh, Black Widow. I like that one. And then, I don't know, this has been curving out rather nicely. We have Finn in hand. That's awesome. Okay. Yeah, I'm vibing with this list so far. It feels like it's playing kind of nicely. I'm just trying to think about what other Death Touch technology we have. Damn, the Serpent Society's non-token creature of their choice? That's insane. That's super powerful. Okay, I think with the Eladamri stuff, Viscera Seer is just so nice. We can do Umbral Collar Zealot too. Umbral Collar, like a dog. I did, hang on, Collar. There we go. Haha, I swapped the A and the O because I'm a genius. Sereth Viper's Fang. I'm gonna say no. Because it can also non-mo with the Serpent Society Worst Fears Wombo. Archer Arm seems hard to cast, but we have Yavimaya. We just don't have a lot of ways to tutor for Yavimaya, which makes me a little worried about it. We already added a tutor in Lively Dirge, so taking out a tutor doesn't feel that bad. Okay. My final recommendation is going to be Westvale Abbey. Tap 5, tap this land, sack 5 creatures, transform this land, and then transform it. So you make every opponent sacrifice 5 things, basically. And then it flips in fucking Ormondal, 9/7 flying lifelink indestructible. And then I'll take out the Tainted Land, because I don't really like the Tainted Lands. And instead you can run Creeping In, Hostile. Pay 1, tap, sack a creature, put a soul counter on Hostile. Then, if there are 3 or more soul counters on it, remove those counters, transform it, then untap it. We've just added 2 utility lands. Farseek's our worst 2-mana ramp. Let's get, instead of that, White of the Reliquary. Okay, now I'm on a roll here. I got my flow. Sacrifice another creature. Search your library for a land card, put on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Great news. That's Bajuka Bog. Great news. That's Westvale Abbey. Great news. That's Hostile. And then we can probably include a Lazotep Quarry. Lazotep Quarry. Wishclaw. Wishclaw is a really good recommendation. So Wishclaw, with it, you keep Wishclaw unless you want to cut War Spheres. So the joke is you Wishclaw for War Spheres, and you give the Wishclaw Talisman to the opponent that you're going to War Spheres, and then you hand the Wishclaw back to yourself after War Spheresing them, and you get a second kill spell, and then you make them target the Serpent Society twice and kill them. So that's really funny. Yeah. I'm going to say Death Ritual is probably too slow. We just added Beast Whisperer and Eladamri, which are both faster. Okay. That feels pretty decent. Do you only review commander decks? I have a few Oathbreaker decks. I would happy to look at an Oathbreaker deck. I would not say no. Oathbreaker is adjacent enough to commander where I'd feel comfortable reviewing a deck for it. Okay, maybe it's Black Market Connections. All right, I think we've locked it in here. The reason why it's Black Market Connections, by the way, is at 3 mana, I'd rather just like start double spelling or play Eladamri or play Glissa. Like we have a bunch of 3-drops that are way higher card quality. I like the Black Market Connections if we have a 5-mana commander that we desperately want to cast on curve. In which case, it's like a cool cultivate with extra added utility. Okay, I think this is good. I think this is good to go. This feels very nice. We have that nice little White of the Reliquary package. There's a lot of things that we did to raise the floor of this deck quite high, because you'll just always have access to stack outlets from the lands as opposed to spamming Fleshbag Marauders. Like, all of your Death Touch creatures are already Fleshbag Marauders. Let's sack them to things that'll give us some value. Clear the top for Eladamri, right? I'm a fan.